Oh, we're getting word here. One more award. I'm sorry about that. This award it's actually like kind of a medical award. It's most likely to have a heart attack or a myocardial infarction after smoking too much weed. Now this award, you have to have certain criteria. You have to be morbidly obese, you have to be sedentary, you have to be just sitting there constantly, daily, day in, day out. It's a special award. And basically you have to smoke so much weed that you will likely die from a myocardial infarction or a heart attack. And that's Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays. Congratulations, Brian. You don't have much longer in this mortal coil. I congratulate you on your sedentary lifestyle.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
The top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Industry of Comics show. Thank you for everybody joining us tonight. It's been a slow week for the comic book industry. I don't know if I shouldn't say a slow week because it's been great from what I hear from these two retailers and their sales this week. But for industry news, it's been a slow week, to say the least. It's kind of felt like that for the last couple of weeks. There hasn't been a ton of news going on.
Which is good and bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah. To say that San Diego is about 4 weeks away, everybody's getting ready for the show. So I think that's probably the biggest deal, right? That's probably the reason.
Probably so much planning into that show. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, and it's going to be fun, but man, it costs a lot to go to San Diego and New York Comic-Con. And that is becoming more and more noticeable every year. So, I think that it was like $4,000 for our Airbnb for San Diego. $4,000 for a hotel for New York.
Yeah, I saw somebody. I should have took a screenshot of it. They posted that New York raised their pro tables by a bunch of money. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they're comparing it to San Diego. Now, granted, you get 4 feet of space in San Diego. You get that much space, but they give it to you. It's free,
Yeah.
And they're pretty picky about who they invite back.
Yes, that is something that I've heard from a lot of people, is that they invited us last year, but I haven't heard anything this year type deal. So very interesting stuff. But
Reed's just, man, I felt that for a long time. Reed's prices just keep getting more and more pricey. Fan Expo's kind of even, they're not too insane. Compared to Reed, it's almost double to do a Reed show than it is to do a Fan Expo show.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very surprising.
Yeah, but it's nuts.
Well, are they charging the same at any of their other, or they just have San Diego and New York, or they just have New York, or?
Reed has C2E2, New York, Florida SuperCon. I think they do something in Europe. And I think they do something over in the East. I guess I could look.
Yeah. All right. What else is going on? NYCC's 20th anniversary this year. That's a big deal. Maybe that's why they're raising all the prices.
Well, who knows? Well, Emerald City.
Okay, yeah, Emerald City.
Yeah. But I've heard a lot of people bitch about Emerald City, say they won't go back again.
Yeah, I won't go back anytime soon, that's for sure. I shouldn't say that. I never say never.
Oh yeah, and they do Star Wars Celebration.
Where's Star Wars Celebration? This next celebration's a big one, isn't it?
Good call. Let's see.
Is it going to be in Anaheim again? I know usually their big ones are in Anaheim, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong about that.
That was LA.
LA, yeah. Okay.
LA 2027 looks like.
There you go.
I've never gone to one.
Oh, dude, it's crazy if you're a Star Wars fan, but I got to be honest. Star Wars has pissed me off so much in the last 10 years that I don't know if I'm really want to go to another celebration. So
same, brah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You speak for all fans.
Yeah. For most of them, at least. What did you guys, I want to ask you guys what your thoughts are on the whole John Romita Jr. thing. Have you guys been following that?
No.
Not
Tell
at
me
all.
more.
Huh? So, John Romita Jr. was supposed to do one of the main covers for the new Amazing Spider-Man number 1000, which is very interesting. And there is they showed the image of the John Romita Jr. cover a while back for solicitations. And let me go ahead and show you this. This was
Is it where
the
it's like
cover.
shrugging?
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
it's a
And
weird cover.
it is very weird. It
That's
feels
the only problem, though. There's not a lot of problem with anything else. It's the position of his shoulders compared to where his head's at.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah.
I think this is garbage. This is garbage. This is garbage. The trade dress is garbage. I think that the shoulders are too big, like you said, but they did him no favors by how they put all this stuff around. It looks like a trade. It looks like an ad in a comic rather than a cover.
Yeah.
And I think that a little bit is the actual figure could be right. It just looks weird.
It does. It looks like he's shrugging.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he has no neck.
But he could be, by the way he's shooting, he actually could be in a shrugging motion. If he's pulling at that time, like he's shrugging his shoulders to pull himself up.
I don't know.
So as of June 22nd, I see it's an article that says it will be released as planned.
Well,
Yes.
so here's what happened. The people
The
that
fans,
when this
air
got
quotes.
solicited, the people complaining about how bad the art were seemed like it caused Marvel to pull the cover. And then when they pulled the cover, a outcry of creator support for John Romita Jr. happened on social media, basically saying that it was super disrespectful for Marvel to do this to JR, considering that he is, the Romita name is synonymous with Spider-Man. His dad, obviously, iconic Spider-Man artist, and he was a big Spider-Man artist, not only during that early 2000s run when they restarted it, but also back in the late 70s, early 80s, maybe even the mid 70s, early 80s. There was that John Romita Jr. run where he did a lot of art in it. A lot of people also say that the coloring was so bad for this book.
That's what I was just trying to see is who colored this, because they gave it this like 3D effect that it usually you can pick out JR's art instantly recognizable. You can pick it out of a lineup, no problem. I never would have guessed that's John Romita Jr. in a million years. Never.
Yeah.
It looks more Mark Spears to me than it does John Romita Jr.
Yeah, that by the coloring, and even this is not really, I mean, his recent style. This is almost more of a throwback to when he started and he drew just like his father did. It looks more like that than, you look at his Superman, you look at his Spider-Man, he's closer to Ramos than anything, or actually a Miller, if you look at some of his other stuff with all the square fingers and square heads that he's been doing for years. This almost seems like it was a throwback to his early years, or even like as a nod to his dad, which is even cooler, but it maybe wasn't executed to everybody's.
Yeah. Well, even the pencils look odd to me.
Well, what's very
the
interesting.
pencils do look odd, but doesn't mean it's not right. That's the problem. So we usually don't see people in certain positions.
Well, what's very interesting about this is that people started to point out, like, this is a design flaw by Marvel just as much as it is a anatomy flaw by the artist, right? And shout out to Davis Ryder, who hung out with us on Saturday night, and we were talking about how it looks so off with the way the trade dress is and all this garbage around it. And Davis is like, well, let me play around with it for a second and show you guys how it could look with better design. He did this in just a couple of seconds. You can see how much better it looks if you put that trade dress bigger, you give it the old school design. Even if you throw the coloring a little bit darker in the background, you throw a 1000th anniversary issue underneath it, that looks so much better than that.
Than that promo poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's and that's what Marvel is missing. Someone that can do that. Like I do that when I get covers in with my stuff. I'll get in there and play with it. You can make or break a cover from the trade dress, and they clearly broke it. Davis's edits are on point, 100%.
Yeah. Multiple people, other people played around with it too, showing, differences.
I think if you look too, the lighting looks off. Where the light source is coming from, how it's hitting his legs.
It's hitting his left shoulder.
Yeah, coming from the back, it's hitting his left shoulder, but his whole bottom is lit. I guess that could be from a street lamp or something, but our brains don't do that that quick.
It's coming from an angle to have that shadow cast across his left leg, but it's also creating a glow on the back side of his left deltoid over there. So what's going on? There's so much wrong with this. But yeah, Marvel could have fixed this 100% like that. Boom. Fixed. Done.
Yeah. I mean,
done. It takes half the controversy away.
Yeah, it goes to show you how important the design element is to a cover, not just the art and the colorist and the inker, but the design of where you're placing the trade dress, the corner box, any text on there, anything like that, says a lot about, we'll say for people's eyes and their how they like comic book art. But yeah, very interesting to say the least. And then so Marvel came out and said, you know what? Yeah, you guys are right. And I think they kind of did a little something sneaky where they're like, hey, we never said we weren't going to release it, or, that type of idea. But, man. And here's the other thing, shout out to Kyle. He says, no one has the balls to stand up to these legends, i.e. JR, Frank Miller, and to tell them their work isn't good enough. And that's a very interesting, topic too. These guys are getting older.
Yeah, Kyle with his
like Three Rivers
book.
Fire Sobalski.
Yeah, we've been saying that for ages. Kyle actually got a kind of taste of that. He got a cover in for Seeds of Evil from a person he was a fan of, a pretty big artist, and he was like, this cover's not good. And it's like telling somebody, hey man, this isn't hitting the mark. It's tough. It's tough to do that. Sometimes you feel like you're like, who am I to tell this guy? And it's like, the answer is you're the guy paying for that art.
Exactly. And
so
that's a great point. And, that kind of gets us into our topic a little bit, our main topic tonight. And, a big part of being a retailer these days in comic books includes the retailer exclusive game. And, if you're going to, commission a cover from an artist, and the artist comes out and gives you something that you don't like, whose fault is that? And there's a great, question to be asked there. Like, should you, as the retailer that's commissioning the art, say, hey, this is something that I would like, I like this part of your art. I would like to do something like this, or do you just let the artist do what they want? And then when you let them do what they want and they give you something you don't like. So like, how do you handle that as a retailer, in this new retailer game, which is very interesting, but I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I want to ask that main question is that we're talking about tonight. And that is, what is a comic book retailer nowadays with this big, huge change in the industry and how the shift has come through social media, technology, rising cost, for a retailer, margins, all that type of stuff, the price, the money that's coming into the collectibles world, it's a completely different world for retailers in 2026 than it was in 2020, than it was in 2010, 2000, 1990. It is a very interesting world. And, it's something that I figure on a slow week we can kind of get into, talk about a little bit, because you got this, the status quo over the years and years of comic book shops was the brick and mortar shop, right? How it changed from the newsstand to the direct market. We've talked to quite a few industry giants that had their hands in the creation of the direct market. With Capital City and Diamond and all that world. And now that's all kind of blown up and is not there anymore. And the biggest question to ask is, do you have to be a brick and mortar shop owner to be considered a retailer in this new industry? I think the obvious answer is no. But the reason why I asked that question is because back in the day, in order to get certain accounts, you had to prove you were a brick and mortar shop, right? I mean, if you wanted a Diamond account, you had to take, I think, Sean, you said you had to take pictures of your storefront. You had to show them, your
point of sale system, your checkout counter, your outside branding. Yep, sure did. I don't know. I want Emmett to kind of tackle this first a little bit. He's been a store.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Decades.
It doesn't
longer,
matter. Retail is a retailer. It doesn't matter what you sell. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a comic shop or not. I mean, there's guys that get a collection because they bought storage units and now they're selling comics. They're just a retail. We're all just retailers. Online is hot right now because it's how many people you can get across your table, right? We're all just in a market. And there's more people coming to the online market than they are coming through any one particular town. Now, if you're in New York City, do you need to be online pushing when you're getting, 10,000 to 20,000 people across your table a day or a week in New York City because there's 8 million people there? Maybe not. But if you're in a place where you're getting 20 people in your door a day, you probably better be online. I mean, sales is a numbers game. It's just not like it's not rocket science. They make it really hard, or they try to make it really hard so that less of us do it because there's such a benefit to it as long as you don't screw it up. You're allowed to do a business for 5 years and make no money, take a loss every single year. And you could shut that business down and start another one the next day. And then that new business can be, at a loss for 5 years. The business I'm in is that we have the same name. It's a different business. After 5 years, we moved on to an incorporated. And then, once we started making money, then we could stay.
What does that mean? You could stay. I don't understand that. Like they would kick you out of your.
You can't say that you've made a loss more than 5 years in a row in a small business. Some huge corporations, they take losses every year forever. But a small business, if they consider it's a hobby, and they'll close you down.
Yeah,
and that may be different from state to state. In New York, it's 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah, same.
That's interesting. I never even heard that. That's very.
Yeah, you can't take a loss because otherwise at that point you're just scamming the system. I work out of my house and I can write off my bedroom because I sell Etsy stuff there. You know what I mean?
Yep. Which is still, when you have a business, you can do that, but you have to be trying to make a profit.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just write off your trips to Walmart every week as a write-off.
Yeah. And every dinner you have with your wife because she's your partner and it's a business dinner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wait to get audited, you get screwed over on those kind of scammy things.
Yeah.
I told my wife every time we take a vacation, I'm like, we got to find a comic shop so I can just dip in there, buy a comic, and I can write off at least a day of this trip. Right?
That's right. That's right. And we do it all. We do it all the time. Like I'm always, wherever I go, I'm looking for a comic shop, a thrift shop, a something shop, stopping at yard sales. I probably don't take half the deductions I should take. So
Yeah, same. I just think there's an expectation when you say, again, this is the world according to me, right? When someone says, I'm a comic shop or I'm going to a comic shop, I feel like there's an expectation. Number one, you have comics, duh, right? But I also feel like there's an expectation to call yourself a comic shop. You should carry new books, or you should at least offer the ability to order something or start a subscription or a pull list. Like everyone's talking about the new Absolute Batman, right? It's all over the place. ASM 1000 is coming out, whatever it is, right? Like, can you go into your store and buy that book? Someone comes in and is like, I want some Invincible. If the only Invincible you have is whatever you bought from a collection and you can't order, Invincible's not published anymore, obviously, but capes or a new thing that's coming out. I feel like when you say comic shop that it's implied that you can get new comics. Again, this is just me, right? I'm speaking just for Sean. That's it. So that's just what I assume, what I think. If you go into a comic shop, you can buy new comics. I expect to see some new stuff on the shelf, right? Not just back issues of stuff. If that's the case, then anybody can buy a short box of comic books, put them in their store, and say they're a comic shop. If you went into, I don't think of any example. If you went into someone's store and they had nothing but, like, let's say a video game store, and there's 90% of their stuff is video games, but they have one short box of comics, but they market themselves as a comic shop, and you went in there, you'd be disappointed. You're like, I thought you were a comic shop. You barely have any comics, right? So I just feel like that's kind of a requirement. Now, to be a retailer, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little hypocritical here, but I feel like that's a different world. A retailer is somebody who sells comics at retail. But again, I still feel like there's the expectation that you have a Penguin or a Lunar account and you can order new books, right? You're somehow contributing to the industry, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So if somebody is just selling used comics and buying collections and flipping collections, which is fine, man. You can make a crap ton of money doing that, right? And there's some guys that do nothing but that. They only deal in bronze, silver, golden age stuff, and they make a killing, more than I make. More than all of us make. Those guys are crushing it. But to call yourselves, I don't think any of those guys would call themselves a retailer. They're probably a comic shop if there's full of, they got ASMs, back issues, and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you're just a dude that's selling resale stuff, you're not contributing to the industry. You're not supporting the creators. You're not supporting the artists, the writers. You're not at all. So at what point do we say, by we, I mean me, I don't know, I guess, right? And what the industry, at what time do we say, well, you're not a retailer or you're not a comic shop? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out both sides of my face. You know what I mean?
I think the big movement online, if anything will kill comics, it'll be that.
Why do you say that?
Because when there's no more community of go and talk about your comics, pick up your comics, have it as a habit, as a thing that's a part of your life. And yes, people go on into sales and they chat with other people in the thing and everything, but less and less new books will be sold. Less and less new people will come into the hobby, and it'll just go until everybody has, when everybody decides that it's better to be online, it's cheaper. I can get a warehouse way out of town at $4 a square foot than $21 a square foot in town. It'll just be, that. And then it'll be less and less and less people till then the people online, that'll only be the very best, the very top people. They'll have a crowd going there, and then everybody else will have faded away because they won't be able to make enough money to keep up their own life, let alone paying for people.
I think that world has died. And what I mean by that is I think that, and there's multiple people here in the chat that have said it, that they actually prefer buying online. I think most people.
Yeah, but they're already collectors. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're already collecting comics.
Well, not necessarily. I think that there's a ton of people that over the last couple of years have gotten new into collecting comics because of online stuff, right? Seeing people get excited over whatnot, people getting excited over social media stuff. So I think that especially during COVID, there was a huge influx of people that never collected or bought comics, that got into it, and they weren't allowed to go out, you know what I mean? So, I think that especially as we go more and more into the future, where now more and more people are, having their groceries delivered, have an Amazon Prime account, so they buy everything on Amazon, so they don't even have to go to the store anymore. It's becoming that type of thing, which good or bad.
Have convention. Then you're talking about there's no need for conventions.
Well,
most guys are streaming at conventions anyway, so they could just stay home and do them instead of actually going to the convention.
I disagree.
You could mail your books to the artist to have them sign. He could ship them back.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
and then he wouldn't have to go to the convention, so he could charge you less for the signatures because you're mailing them directly to his house.
Oh, that won't happen. That won't cut their sig prices.
Well, here's why I disagree with that. I disagree with that because of the reason why more and more people are doing stuff online. The convention gives them that outlet to go meet their friends and hang out with their buddies across the United States. And the only reason I say that is, like Sean says, this is his stuff. This is Emmett's opinion. This is my opinion. That's why I go to cons. I go to cons because, okay, this is my time to go hang out with all these people that I've become friends with across the country that I'm not going to get to hang out with, normally. So
my experience at cons is we'll have guys ask us, "Are you going to go to this con?" And they're excited because that's their local con. They can meet they're excited to go meet their favorite creators. For some reason, some of them are excited to meet us. They want to meet their favorite streamer. I've had many people come up and want to take pictures with the streamers. They want to take pictures with Kayla, she goes by Goob, and Ernie, all the time. People bring gifts for us sometimes. It's the oddest thing. I made you a thing. Well,
it's funny,
thanks.
Sean. I was talking to a pretty famous artist the other day, and he brought up, he goes, yeah, I watch Goob all the time. And he said it like Goob. So
it's funny. I think the reason why people feel passionate about this is because there's still a certain amount of gatekeeping amongst brick and mortar stores that are adamant that if you don't have a brick and mortar store, you are not a retailer, you are not a comic shop. Now, I can be semi-guilty of this too, because there's certain people in the industry, without mentioning any names, that are very adamant about throwing shade at people who you're not a real store, you're insignificant, you don't do anything in the industry. There's just a lot of gatekeeping out there, and really we can throw shade at Comics Pro all day for this, because to be in Comics Pro, first requirement is you got to be a store. You got to have a brick and mortar, send a picture. You got to have your brick and mortar, your point of sale system, whole 9 yards. If you don't have this, you can't be in Comics Pro, right? Well, I'd be curious to see if we'll never get this data ever, but it'd be awesome to see. Let's just take Lunar and Penguin. What orders are comic shops, brick and mortars? What orders are online retailers / whatnot people? You know what I mean? If you count exclusives, I would almost guarantee you that the non-brick and mortar people are crushing orders.
Oh, 100%. Brick and mortar is not going to touch an online exclusive doer. Somebody who's doing online exclusives as far as purchasing.
What do you mean by that?
And then sales, because they have to move them, but they're not going to touch them in sales. But again, where we're at in the world is because all we fucking measure by is how much do we sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it, like any other industry, like if you're selling steaks online and you're the best steak seller online, but none of the monies get back to the farmers, sooner or later your steaks online, you're selling something else.
Yeah.
Rats online, because the industry is an ecosystem. If it doesn't have all of its parts, it has none of its parts.
Yeah.
And to say one part of the industry is better than the other. Recently I did a thing and I got a lot of people's feelings were hurt because I said online selling is a parasite. Now, parasite has a bad connotation. So I was being hyperbolic. It got me a lot of views. Yeah, I was being hyperbolic. But in the ecosystem, it is feeding off the industry that it doesn't participate in directly by creating through outreach. Now, if you're an online seller and you're doing outreach, you're doing reading programs, art programs locally, you provide books to schools, you do all these outreach things, then sure, you're not a parasite. You're part of you're part of building the industry out. But if you're just feeding on the people that were created out there, then, it is what it is. Doesn't make it a bad thing. Parasites are not a bad thing. Sharks need the parasites that live on them. Most things do when they have a symbiotic relationship like venom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said something that confused me, but you cleared it up.
Who's that? B. Selden said parasites are necessary for a healthy ecosystem. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
I think anybody that's offering new comics for sale to the masses is doing a good thing for the industry, whether it be an exclusive, whether it be a cover A, whatever it is. If you're offering people can buy whatever number 1 just came out, number 2, whatever, right? You're doing a good thing for the industry because those creators are creating books. We're all doing this to make money, period. Anyone that's doing anything in this country, show me somebody that's doing something to not make money. You're in a nonprofit. You're still getting a salary from that nonprofit.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, because, it's Maslow's hierarchy, right? So it's where it's not what you're doing for money. It's how you're doing it for money and then how it makes you feel. People feel very good if they, sell something at, an astronomical margin, and they sell out. That makes them feel good. Other people feel good if you fill that last issue in the run of some old timer who buys your 50-cent books.
Yeah, that's great. And really the most successful stores that I've seen, they have all that. new books, back issues. They offer, of course, there's the advent now of trading card games are pretty much a staple in any comic shop. It's all
Yeah.
kind of in the same
Well, they're a
universe,
staple
right?
in every bodega too, and every gas station.
Gas station, coffee shop, Target checkout lane. Yeah.
PX, BX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
If you're ex-military and you can get on a base, you should always check to see if they have Pokemon on the base exchange, because they may still be there.
Yeah, they might. I think that things need to be, things need to change. Like, and I keep going back to Comics Pro because they're just the best example I can think of. But not being inclusive to, online sellers, whether it be a website or whatnot, it's really limiting things.
1,000%.
It's just keeping things narrow-minded and really kind of gatekeeping. Like, oh, we do this big event every year, and we invite all these publishers to come, and they speak to us, and they give us keynote addresses, and you get free exclusives, and you get inside industry, and you get to make connections with each other, but only if you own a store.
Yeah.
But only if you own a store.
No, it definitely should be, it's Comics Pro, and it should be, everybody in the industry. And, they're definitely part of the industry. They're feeding a lot of money to the publishers. And the publishers are like addicts, just 100 and how many exclusives or variants for Absolute Batmans now. When the market was almost gone, it was almost over. And then so how long does this ride out?
I was just talking to a very big rep in the industry today about that same thing, about where the industry goes in cycles and circles. And right now we're in the Absolute Batman phase. When is that going to go by the way of everything else that's been popular for a little bit? It's going to happen. Look at Death Metal, look at Venom, Donny Cates' Venom, look at Scott Snyder's Death Metal, look at Spider-Gwen when she was first out there. Marvel had Gwen month and everything was venomized for a while. Things are going to come around, So I just think that, again, the narrow-mindedness and gatekeeping kind of needs to stop. Looking down on people. When I first came on the show, I'm going to say this in public, I've said it private a couple times. When I first came on the show as a guest, Jesse and Dennis were the hosts, and they asked me a question. They were like, "What is a comic shop?"
They used to ask that of every single person.
Every single guest. And I always thought it was a weird question. Like, what do you mean what's a comic shop? And I said, my answer at the time was, well, if you sell comics, you're a comic shop. And they're like, yeah. We agree. And I was like, but the more I thought about that, I was like, well, I don't know. Like, is that true? Because, and then after further conversations and listen to other people in the industry talk, it is very important to support the creators. You have to support the creators. If you're not supporting the creators, the industry dies, period. If nobody can make money creating comic books, nobody will create comic books. It's capitalism.
It's an art
Maybe
form.
not nobody. I'm talking in absolutes.
Is it an art form?
I get it.
Is it? Do you think it's more an art form than it is an industry at this point?
It's an
or
art
vice versa?
Form. Comic books are an art form. We create the industry by having retailers and everything. If you don't think people would paint paintings if there was no art galleries?
Well, no, that's not true. I guess that's again, I said I was talking in absolutes.
Right.
I'm sure somebody would make a comic, but how many artists out there now would draw if they were not getting paid to draw? How many writers would write if they weren't getting paid to write?
Well, how many artists would draw if they couldn't do covers and they had to do sequentials? A lot.
Oh, a ton would drop out. Well, a ton would drop out because sequentials are a ton more work and it's less pay.
a less pay, and it's harder.
A ton more work.
Tell a
Yeah.
story with the art. It's not easy. It's not like, oh, he's a really good artist, he can do anything.
A ton more work. Like it's we could criticize, hate the low hanging fruit here. We could criticize Mayhew and say, when's the last time you did sequentials?
I asked him that question. He didn't answer it.
Here's a funny thing. You guys are bringing this up. I saw this post on Instagram the other day from a podcast, I think it was the Ink Pulp podcast, but this is very interesting.
Today,
Here we go.
Looking at comic book covers today, I'm kind of like heartbroken. I see the craft of the cover really suffering, and I know I talk about craft suffering a lot in comics, but the cover is a big one. But why? The main reason why is covers have become pinups, and it's baffling to me. It seems to me that the cover has become more about the creator than the narrative, and that's a problem. Most covers are a single character standing in the center of the composition with no background. It's just what I call a glamour shot. And while, yes, there are great pinup style comic covers, it is one style of a cover. It's not the only one. It's not the best one, mainly because it gives you nothing from the narrative.
Very interesting. And I think that has become this way because of the retailer exclusive variant and this, retailer world, right? I don't think it's the main reason. I think it's one of the main reasons that covers have become,
Well, both companies feed into that.
What I would say to that guy is no shit. Like, thanks for the amazing insight, sir. But cover A is usually the comic book cover with the action and the people jumping around and the team shot, right? That's usually the cover A. It has to do with what's it gives you a preview of kind of what's coming on the inside, right? What to expect in the story a little bit. It should be the cover A. And the variants are usually the pinup stuff. The cover Bs are usually Nakayama, Zerdy, Jiang, maybe those guys, right? Dodson, the guys that do kind of the more pinup stuff. What sells the best for me is usually the pinup covers, the cover ABCs, because they're just more appealing to look at. Some people just are cover buyers, especially on Whatnot. Most people are cover buyers on Whatnot. But that cover A is so important because what's the industry always choose when there's a key issue? It's always the cover A. No one's ever like, well, cover B is actually had less of a print run because it was a variant and it wasn't very good. So this is first appearance of who gives a shit. So this is actually the key issue is the cover B. It's always cover A. It's always cover A that people choose is the one that everybody wants. Or a ratio, of course, and then cover A.
Yeah.
So I would just tell that guy, thanks, genius.
The retailer world has changed so much that, the retailer world used to be, you had a comic shop, you had subscriptions, you sold to longtime, collectors and readers. It was more of as we said earlier, like it felt like it was more of a community-based type thing. And now we have this situation going on where retailers, you have a lot of these online-only retailers who are working more in the retailer exclusive game, right? Because it's an easier game to play when you don't have a brick and mortar shop. You don't have to put as much work in sourcing collections type deal. And because of that, it's just easier. And also because of that, the cover artist has become the superstars in the comic world, whereas writers used to be the superstars. Now it's the cover artist that's a superstar in the comic world. And again, this all goes back to what is a comic book retailer question, where you have online retailers are such a big part of the game, type deal, you know?
Yeah. No, it's everything you said is 100% right. Like it's about, again, we complain a lot about sales, like what people complain about variant covers. You should pull up that graphic that Emmett put in the in our group Instagram chat with the variant sales. That was a great graphic to show the variant sales. It's what sells. It's what sells. I love someone in the chat said I love the painting covers. TJ Reese, Stellato, Sienkiewicz, Ito, Jock Ross, Perillo. These guys, some of the best guys. Go back to old. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. I hate myself for it. Jusko.
Yeah, Joe Jusko. Yeah.
I mean, he was probably the master of back then when he was doing covers. Those would be considered. Yeah, those would be considered pinups. They made a whole trading card line out of his, pinup.
The Hildebrandt brothers
Mhm.
both did that. One fantasy, one sci-fi. Frazetta was doing it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it's about what sells. It's about sales. Everyone that bitches about all the variant covers in the industry and says there should only be cover A's in the industry. Well, okay, talk about the quickest way to kill an industry is just put a cover A and no more of all the artists that we're naming off that we love variant covers. Nope. So much for choice. You get one cover for you, no variant for you. One cover, that's it.
It's an illusion of a choice because the insides are all the same, and the insides is what the industry is supposed to be about. But it's not anymore. It's about the covers. So, I mean, it's two different businesses. What you guys do online is different from what we do in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all part of the industry because we're purchasing from the same people.
Exactly. We're all supporting the same.
We are not doing the same thing.
No, but like you said it perfectly.
Well, yeah, you're selling comic books.
But whether you're buying the cover or whether you're buying the cover or the cover, or whether you're buying it for the cover only or buying it because you want to read it, you're still buying that comic book.
What do you mean you're not selling comic books? You're not selling comic books?
I'm selling comic books. They're selling covers.
I don't know about that, man.
It's the cover of a comic book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it comes with the rest of the stuff, but it's no different than what I'm selling other than the cover. My sales technique is different from the online exclusive cover seller.
So in that
if your primary business is selling exclusives, and that's really because, Sean, you sell everything. You've got new books, old books, you have your books, and you have exclusives. So you're selling more than that. But the guys who are just doing exclusives and having a new exclusive every week, and that's their primary sales, they're selling the cover.
So
it's the same book they can get anywhere.
I'm going to play devil's advocate then. How and I'm going to ask you, Emmett, but I know that in the past when I've talked to like Dennis and Jesse, their percentage of sales is much more everything other than comic books and comic books. I remember Jesse was saying that 30% of his sales are comic books. If 30% of your sales are comic books, are you a comic book retailer anymore?
I don't care. I think I am, but I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I don't have any competition.
No,
I don't have anything. It's just
we're not.
I would say
for conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. Conversation-wise, it doesn't matter whether I'm a comic book shop or not. It's what you can sell. We're both car dealers. I sell Fords, you sell Chevys. We're both selling cars, but we're not selling the same thing.
Yeah, it's two sides of the same coin, really. And I would say, again, even if you're selling, this is the world according to me. If you're selling a new comic book, I don't care if it's 10% of your sales, you are supporting creators of comic books, creators of new comic books, you're a comic shop, you're a retailer in my universe, according to me, you know. And the guy, to your point though, Emmett's also correct, because the dude that's just doing Something's Killing the Children number 49 variant, I would challenge that dude, like, hey man, did you read it? Do you know what's happening in Something's Killing the Children? Are you keeping up with the series? Are you a fan, or are you just doing the cover because you made money on the last Something's Killing the Children? You got a hard artist and the cool cover, and you're going to limit it and put a co in, and you're going to spend $3,000 and hope to make $4,000. And hey, if that's the case, the good thing is, Emmett, to what Emmett's saying, I would say that dude just bought 500 copies of this book. Yeah. He paid for 500 copies that supported the writer, the artist, the publisher, the printer, the distributor. They're supported the system. They're talking about the title. They bought boards and bags from the guy making boards and bags. They supported everything in the industry. They're a good little capitalist, because they're supporting your local shipping department. You're buying shipping supplies. You're contributing to the system, right? You're talking about Something's Killing the Children. You're promoting it on your website. You're putting it in your emails. You're talking about it in your live show. You're saying the name of the title over and over and over. You're saying the name of the artist over and over and over again. Sick Tick by, let's say, Ito. Sick Tick by Ito. Sick Tick by Ito. Get my exclusive. Sick Tick dropping on Wednesday. You're saying it over and over again. You're getting people excited about it, right? So that is supporting the industry. But at the same time, I also agree with what Emmett said. Where's Emmett? Emmett's over here. I agree with what Emmett said, because if no one's reading number 48, and you don't do an exclusive for 49, no one's going to buy 49. So you still want people to read the book. You know what I mean?
And the other problem is that if you don't think artists have already figured out how to cut you the fuck out, it's coming. It's coming every day. Mayhew isn't the first one. Campbell. There's so many that have their own websites. And Kevich.
Scotty Young.
Alex Ross. I mean, any of them can do this all by themselves. They don't need any of you. And then you got to find a new artist. But you got to make them hot. And then, you know.
But I will push back on that a little bit. There's those outliers, right? Campbell, he doesn't need, honestly, any retailers anymore. He's so big.
Yep.
Sienkiewicz, he don't need us. But Campbell's still out there doing cover A's for Marvel.
Yeah.
So Sienkiewicz, he's still drawing covers, the regular weekly covers. So these guys understand too, like, to be relevant, you still got to do the $3.99 book that average Joe can buy, that someone can get an FOC. Plus, if they're really freaking smart, they're going to do that stuff, because guess who's going to come up and get their book signed in line? All the people that just bought your cover A for $3.99. Yep. They can now afford to get, excuse me, a $10, $15, $20 signature, because they only paid $4 for the book. You may not be able to afford your $40 exclusive with your COA on your website, but they want to meet you at a con and shake your hand, take a picture. So anyway, it's all, like we all said, man, it's different sides of the same coin. I greatly dislike, like I said, the gatekeeping side of it, the snobby comic retailer that's been, and I'm talking about a ever shrinking demographic here, right?
Because everybody's having to go online, right? So everybody's having to move to that model, at least selling online. I'm not talking about exclusives, but I'm talking about selling online.
Yeah. And it's just a sign of the times too. We talked about this 100 times, just like Brian said a little while ago. Amazon, you can order, I get all my labels delivered.
Yeah.
My energy drinks get delivered, stickies, Sharpies. I haven't been to a Staples in years, because why even bother getting in my truck and driving over there? I just have it delivered for cheaper. Right. So it's just, and we can complain about lots of different things. For example, I hate the guys on Whatnot that just put up book for brand new books. They don't talk about the book. They don't talk about the cover. They don't talk about the artist. They don't talk about the title. 3-second sudden death. Next book. And they're trying to get people to get excited and swipe and give FOMO.
Right.
So they're paying $8 for a new book this is a terrible example, but
I do believe now that like I did a bit on the crash outs at Whatnot, and I just think now that is just a con.
I saw that.
It's to get more people, because now that there's so many people doing it now, there's more and more people crashing out because it had created a success. What kind of world do we want to fucking live in?
You know, those crash out dudes, by the way, that was a great video, by the way.
Thanks.
Those dudes that crash out, they're immature ding dongs that have no business selling online. If you spend massive amounts of money on a card or a book or anything, and you think you need it to get that one guy in the video, we don't pay less than 4 figures for whatever he said.
Sneakers,
yeah, sneaker guys. Come on, man. Like, you're an idiot and you deserve to crash out and be embarrassed. So screw you, man. Get out of here.
Well, I think that
I'm sure there's guys.
I don't think we live in the world anymore where bad publicity is good publicity. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that, I mean, I understand where you're coming from on that idea, but I think that as soon as you have that type of crash out, you're going to lose a lot of your bigger whales or your bigger people, your people that follow you more often, that watch that crash out. You're going to lose a lot of those. But I could be wrong. That's how I feel. Like if I'm watching my favorite seller on Whatnot have a fucking crash out and act like a douchebag and not give somebody what they got or that type of deal, I'd be like, I'm never buying from that person again. So I with social media and the way that the world is now, I don't think that bad publicity is good publicity anymore. And I think that those people lose more. But the problem with that is that there's a lot of people that might not have seen that crash out, that, that type of deal. So I just, if I saw that, I wouldn't buy with that person again. But I could be different than most people,
Troll made a really great point here to what Emmett said. We kind of glossed over this, but you're absolutely right what Troll said. There's so many artists can't sell their own stuff to save their life. They aren't streamers. They don't know how to run businesses. So many artists talk to, they're artists. There's a reason why I never learned to draw. I suck at it. I don't have a passion for it. There's a reason why these artists don't run their own businesses, because they don't have the knowledge or passion for it. A lot of times I'll try to get an artist to the shop and it's like pulling teeth because they're so busy drawing. They don't have time to even do a live stream, because they're like, even at a con, they're like, I got commissions I got to finish up at the con. I want to be able to eat. I need to sleep. I got to be back here tomorrow at this time to be at my booth. I don't have time to stream with you from now. Some artists are trying to figure out they're going to make more streaming than they will drawing a commission, but also they want to make their fans happy. They want to, do those things. So tons of artists are just, they'll never do what Mayhew is trying to do. I don't know why I still have Mayhew books on my website for pre-sale if he doesn't need us anymore, but
they're all secondary books. You're not getting them from him, so what does it matter?
I'm getting them from him for sure. Oh yeah. But
I have a bunch, but they're all secondary market where.
Yeah, no, these are brand new, absolute Batman 21, 22s. But anyway, it's some of these guys just will never have that ability to set that up, and they appreciate. I just had Garrett Gunn in the store, man. Great dude, love Garrett, super talented, super great dude. Him and his wife Sean, a fantastic team.
That's great, but this is the thing, is that so many point to the money. If you think that, not you, I mean, if the people out there think that the money, if you're not paying the artist the most, and you've done 5 in a row with this guy and you made him money, but the next guy says, I'm going to give you this much more. You've made it about the money. you know, why shouldn't the artist make it about the money?
Yeah, no, they should.
That's what the whole people were yelling at Mayhew about.
Well, he's dismissed everyone that put him where he's at, basically. And the worst part for me about what Mayhew was preaching was he's trying to tell everybody to do this.
Right.
You all need to do this. You don't need these fake retail. Like, we could go back over that, but
if somebody
ridiculous.
gets big enough, and there's players in the game that are pretty close,
no, go
they
for
just
it.
gobble up all the artists, and they go, you know what? I'm just going to have 20 of the hottest artists.
Yeah,
and they're going to do books each week for me.
But it's almost the same, and some of those guys can. The best analogy would be, so many dudes want to sell their collection. They would make way more selling it on themselves, on their own. But they don't want to go through all the hassle of it.
There's more than just the hassle, though. What people don't understand, if you don't have a tax ID number, it's income, which you pay 40% on. So whatever the books cost you, whatever you end up selling them for, less 40%.
Yeah.
So if you end up getting less than 40%, you would have been better just coming and getting cash from me.
And that reason, that first sentence right there was, you need a tax ID. That already turned off 40% of the artists in the world. I need a what? Oh God, can I just draw? Now I got to get a tax ID.
If they aren't a business, if they're not working for their business, so-and-so studios, right? You're so-and-so, but it's the studio. You work for the studio so that you can take write-offs like your pens, your paper, your ink, your everything. If you're just a regular dude, you can't write any of that shit off.
We get that, bro. 100%. We get it. It's common sense to us. It's common knowledge.
People joining Whatnot every day that don't.
Yes. And there's artists in the industry that don't, or they do get it, but they don't want to deal with that. To them, it's bullshit. Just like what we're talking about, it's common sense to us. If they started talking about perspective and anatomy and how to do this, and could the shading and the lighting comes from, I'd be like, you lost me, bro. I don't give a shit. Just draw the cover. They're gonna do the same thing to us. So they're like, that sounds great, man. Can you just sell my books for me? So yeah, there will be some guys for sure that get, and I hope they do. They get big enough to where they don't need, as some people would say, the middleman anymore, right? They can just go directly to the customer, which is awesome. Good for them. They'll make more money. They're growing their own thing now. They can hire their family members and shit to work for them and create their own little ecosystem. That's a fantastic thing. I tell everyone, in a perfect world, you don't need me anymore. And I've taught people so many times, man, too, how to do this. Go live on Whatnot, start an account, do it yourself. You just got to ship. It's super easy. They do all the work for you. It makes it super simple. Then you can write this off and write that off. All the giveaways you do and whatnot, that's a write-off. It's crazy, right? So anyway, yeah, I agree with you. Some people can do it, but I think we're a long way off from flippers, backpackers, middlemen, whatever you want to call them, them going away. As much as some people claim to hate them, they're essential.
They're essential to the ecosystem. They're part of the ecosystem. That doesn't mean they're good people.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are turds.
Hey, Steven, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We got you loud and clear.
Hey, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steven Fuentes, Most Wanted Comics in Corpus Christi, Texas. How you doing, brother?
Yes, it's been good, man. It's been busy. Been very busy.
Yeah.
That's good.
We're having a conversation about what is a retailer these days, and kind of talking about the differences between how the industry has changed and the online world and everything. And you're a perfect example of kind of doing things differently in this world where most people wouldn't get into this game by opening a brick and mortar store, and you said, "Nah, I'm going to open a brick and mortar store," which is very interesting.
Yeah, we needed it in our area. Joe would tell you, Red Hood, he just lives down the street. It was at the right time. COVID was just kind of going away. I accumulated too many comics, and the only way I can sell them fast enough was to open a store. But little did I know, opening the store was gonna grow and grow, and yeah, we're growing out of this spot too. I tell you that. So
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
interesting. That's interesting.
yeah,
So,
within 5 years, it's been a blessing. So you're right, though. The industry has changed a lot. So me as a store, I'm always trying to get people, like, how can I get people here, right? Just come into the shop, whether you buy something or not. It just provides something different, right? Plus, I think it's
Okay,
more fun. I don't
hold on. I'm looking at your pictures online here.
Yeah,
They're like a year ago.
yeah.
Can you even call yourself a comic shop if you don't have long boxes on the floor? There's not a
I got
single long box on your floor, bro. What the hell is that? Like, that's some bullshit.
but I keep I keep the books higher up so everyone can see.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to hurt my
that's
knees.
bullshit. All the good stuff is on the boxes on the floor in the very back.
I got a
That's where the
stash
good
though,
stuff
because the
is.
customers start going through them. Can I go through these before I do? And it's all good, man. Everybody here that's the fun part of it, right? Like you mentioned, Brian. Like, online is great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's another avenue, to make money. But it's the feel you walk into a shop, because you never know what you're gonna find, right? And customers come in like, "Hey, when'd you get this?" And it's the experience. It's the fun. And
The
Eamon, I
discovery.
see you got some books behind you, so
Yeah, man.
I'm more sure your regulars like will know what you got new, what you don't got new, right? So
Oh yeah.
That's
that's the
Emmett's
fun part of
office.
it.
That's Emmett's
Yeah,
office, by the way.
I'm in the
That's just one
basement.
store.
My mom's basement.
My mom's basement.
That's store number 2. There you go.
Actually, that's his bedroom. He just lays out a tarp over the comics and sleeps on them.
I do want to have a second store, but it's about location, man.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then who do I get to run it? That you got to have somebody you really can trust. And
That's true.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good question right there, Brian. That yes, online you don't have to rely on anyone. It's on you. When you have a shop, you're like, man, I got to find the right person that knows what we do, right? So
Well,
that's
let's
a good
talk about
point,
that
Emmett.
for a second, because that is not just in your situation, but even even online, because we've been talking about how it came up tonight with Mike Mayhew, how
Oh,
he hires these sellers that sell for him on these online these live sellers, eBay Live, whatnot, that don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. So that's also the same for an online only. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna hire people, you gotta make sure that you hire the right person. Ultimately,
yeah.
whether you're a brick and mortar store or even an online seller, it's one thing if they're just packing books for you, but if you got somebody who doesn't know comics, that can be a major detriment to your business.
Well, on the flip side of that, though, you really need somebody to manage your store that understands managing a store more than
Mm.
somebody that knows comics. You get what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
there's a difference between being able to hand sell a Watchmen trade paperback to somebody, than there is actually knowing how to deal with personalities of your employees, understands margins, like all that stuff. Who's ordering for the store? That's another part of it. Are
knows
you
how to
ordering
negotiate
FOC?
buying.
Yeah, that's a huge one, because
Buying.
if you don't
Huge in
know how to
store.
buy collect, that's a special talent all in itself. If you know how
Understand
to,
what you're buying, yeah.
understand what to make an offer for, when to say no, when to buy.
Oh,
The
I
guy
buy
that buys,
everything. I never say no.
well, if the price is right,
Did you
right?
just say?
The
That's
price
the
is
problem we
right.
have. Yes,
Buy
that's the
everything,
problem we
right?
have. I've been
But
having a huge amount of people just selling me everything, and I don't buy everything, but man,
A
it's
lot
just
of
been
collections.
insane.
Yeah,
I
man.
think Saturday alone it was like 5 big collections that were walking through the door, and I was like, wow. It's like I had to schedule them out, so that I can have time to process through them, but it has been like that lately, so it's been awesome.
Yeah,
that's
let's
great
talk
to hear.
about that a little bit, because all three of you guys have mentioned at some point tonight that the last couple of weeks have been really, really good for you guys. And again, this goes to show that there is this weird dichotomy that's happening in the industry of comics where, and I keep on kind of mentioning it, that like everything is going so great, but you can see the edge. We can see the edge. We can see it's there. Everything is going amazing. It's more exciting than it's been in years. Books are selling like crazy. We see what's going on with the Absolute game. There's money coming in the industry, but we can see the edge. And you guys have stated that it's been really, really good selling comics the last week.
It's weird too, because usually this is the slow time in comics. Summer sales usually are very slow in summer. Everyone's out hanging out with their family, summer vacations, et cetera, et cetera. Things usually slow down right now. They pick up right around Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, right around Halloween time. And as long as you have sales, you will make a crap ton of money from Halloween all the way through to Christmas. And then things kind of die until February, March-ish. Usually MegaCon is when things start picking up again, but now MegaCon's all the way in like March or some shit. So this cycle makes no sense. Like, why are people, I don't know. I think it's not just Absolute. Like, Emmett, this will make you happy. M1 Racing came out from Jay Lee's title, right?
Yep.
He did the interiors. I could not give that book away a week ago. Now, one of my guys comes to me, Ernie, and he's like, "Can you order more of the M1?" And I'm like, "Why? We have a giant stack of it." Like, I ordered heavy because I thought it was going to be hot. No one gave a shit. He's like, "We're almost sold out." I was like, "What?" So, like, once people get it in their hand and people start reading, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
I'll read a preview of a book online. I think it's great. I order it and it sits there, and I'm like, "Damn it! I thought for sure this book's going to be a hit." And then
Takes a little bit sometimes.
a week to 2 weeks later, it's like a delayed reaction. And people get it in their hand, they start reading it, word gets around, and then people start asking for it. So, and honestly, those covers are nothing special. They're kind of boring.
Yeah, that's a good point. I try our best is to inform customers, hey, you may want to get on this. 'Cause if not, I can't promise that we're gonna have any on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it just flips a switch. All right, give me down. And sometimes I miss books because there's too many that come out. But it's a good thing to sell out though. I'd rather sell out than have a whole stack just sitting on the shelf, That's
See,
fine.
you're a smart businessman, bro. That's the word of comics, bro. It's good to sell out. Some
As
people
a
are afraid
brick
to
and
sell out.
mortar, and as a brick and mortar, that creates box members. Oh,
Yeah.
you missed that book? Well, had you ordered it ahead of time and been a subscriber,
Better sub to the next
It is,
one. You want me to start to pull this right now? What else are you reading? Have you tried this one?
We've seen a lot of new readers. And you can tell who your regulars are and people that come in. So when you see someone new, you're like, hey, what are you reading? Like, what are you looking for? Start to get to understand what they read. So before Free Comic Book Day, I started to see tons of new people. And then we had a line that wrapped around the building, Free Comic Book Day. And since then, it has been nonstop, like every day, busy. Then we had our 5-year anniversary a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. And yeah, it has been great. But it's a little bit of everything, right? Not just the new stuff, not just the old stuff. The collectibles have been doing well. It's been a little bit of everything.
So, a couple questions for you, bro. I don't know shit about your business, man. That's why I would like to ask: Is this your job? Is the comic shop, or do you have? Okay, awesome.
I'm
Congrats,
full time
bro.
now. I retired after 20 years. I was in the tire industry of all the industries. I sold tires and I delivered for 20 years, and then now here I am full time. So. Yeah,
there's some joke there about the rubber meeting the road and you doing good, and I'm just gonna leave it there.
No, it was fun. I had a great time over there, but when we moved to a larger location, it was too much on my wife's plate, so I had to kind of like, hey, I got to be over here more. But as soon as that happened, more customers knew, hey, Steven's there all the time now, and it just drove up more business. I'm Emmett, you in your shop. You see a difference when you're not there as opposed when you're there. Same thing with you,
Night and
Sean.
day.
I'm pretty sure it's
Oh yeah, huge difference.
My
So
kid's really good. When my kid's not here, sales dip a lot.
so.
He's man, he's good. And
because
he's not really even selling, he just is interested in everybody.
Same thing. My son, he's here as well sometimes, and even when my wife's here and I'm not here, I'm trying to get to where people can deal with them too, right? You don't need me here all the time. They can do just as good as I do, but they've grown relationship with everybody. Like my sister's a character; she helps out here, and she just jokes with everybody, and just it helps. It's supposed to be fun, so.
one of the hardest lessons I had to learn is I can't expect my employees to be me, right? Only I can do what I can do. And it still takes me, I have to remind myself of that all the time. Somebody will be streaming and I'm like, why don't you stream like this? Say this and do this, and you should have made this and change to stop 2-hour starts and change to half price starts, or go back to this, and I'm like,
At some point it becomes competitive against your group, right?
Yeah, you can't teach certain things like, you paid how much for that collection? Oh, you could have got it for you overpaid for that, or whatever. There's just so much. It's so hard.
We always joke that, like, if one of us makes a mistake, like, oh, come on, man, like, what are y'all doing? But it's fun. It's just joking, like, because like, we always compete. Like, obviously everyone comes to me for all the questions, which I'm like, you can just look on your phone. You got a computer sitting right in your hand.
Dude, doesn't it drive me nuts? Like, hey, do you know when this releases? If only there's a way we could find out. If only there was a way. So what's your what sells the most for you in your shop? Is it new books? Is it back issues? Is it
back issues?
Okay.
Back issues is number one.
Nice.
It's back issues. Toys have become number 2.
Wow.
New issues is number 3, and then everything else, supplies and whatever else, number 4.
So, like, I know it's kind of to narrow this down. Is there an age of back issues that works better for you? 90s, modern stuff, bronze, silver,
everything.
All of it.
I provide everything that's available, and that's another thing too. I don't do much online because I have it in store, and I have so much stuff available. So if you come in the store like, hey Steve, do you have, I don't know, Secret Wars 8? Yep, I got like 5 of them. Things like that. So I'm trying to minimize online and have the customer come in, as opposed to just searching, being at home. No, come on in. Like, you'll see something else. If I don't have it, I can go and grab it from storage. I could go to Emmett's storage and grab it.
Yeah, they and then if they come in time and time again and they see you selling online and they come in and there's never the books they're looking for, they'll stop coming in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I really only sell stuff I know I can't sell in store, and doubles.
Do you do a lot
when
online?
I say doubles, it's way more than doubles, but
you do a lot of online, Emmett?
I just started doing eBay live.
Okay.
I have a Shopify store, but that is all. I don't have any risque books in my shop. I have them all online because I have a lot of kids come into the store. I don't want them running across it by accident. So all the cheesecake books, all that's on the Shopify store. And then there'll probably be some of it on eBay Live that's more appropriate. The very inappropriate stuff's all on Shopify. So,
see, I always had a philosophy of if I walked into a store and I saw a ton of wall books, just epic wall books sitting there, I was always thinking, like, why are these books still here? Like, I get it, but I'm like, just sell them. Well, you're waiting for someone to come in. Some people, and I get it, some people just like to have a really pretty wall of hot books on someone, because then they go,
eye candy.
Oh, dude, you got that? Whoa. And then they talk about it. Dude, did you see what they got over there? Can I take a picture?
You know what,
yeah,
Sean?
Go ahead.
That point
to make you legitimate
is one of the biggest points to whether to asking that question, what is a retailer? And I think that one of the things about being a retailer is you cannot look at that item and go, well, it could be worth this in a couple of years. You can't look at it that way. If you want to be a retailer, you have to get rid of that stuff and you have to sell it now. And to me, when my idea was, oh, I'm going to start a business where I'm selling comics on the side, I could never get past that point where it was like, oh man, dude, I don't want to sell that. I know if I wait, I could get this much for it, you know? And I think that one of the things when you realize you're a retailer, that has to be one of the big mindsets, is that you can't look at it that way. You have to just get rid of stuff and sell.
Yeah. Remember, I keep
everything's for sale, but if you have to sell, you're in trouble.
Well, I don't know, man. I get that point, and I agree with you. Before I say this, I'm gonna say I agree with you, because it's good to be in a power position where you're like, I just got a 181 in. I'm just going to enjoy this book for a while. I don't need to sell it to pay my mortgage tomorrow. I don't got to sell it to pay my lunar bill. I'm just going to enjoy this book. I'm going to I call it I don't want to sell it price.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the wall. I'm going to jack it up by $200. No one's going to buy it. If they do, hey, if you really want it that bad, I guess. But I get that. I do. But also, like, for example, when you said, I got 5 Secret Wars in my box, my first instinct is sell 3 of them and keep 2, or sell 4 and keep 1. Like, sell, let's go. Or take your best one and send it in for grading and then send it to Heritage or some shit. I don't know. Like, what's the best way to move that product? I hated when my guys tried to put stuff on the wall. I'm like, why are you gonna put it on the wall? It looks really cool. You know what looks even cooler is my bank account when it has more money in it. That looks cooler to me than that book on the wall. But I get the philosophy of you want to, bring people in, have them cool shit to look at. You need that eye candy. You need that. But at the same time, at what point, and this is a whole nother conversation, man, amongst retailers, real retailers, is when to sell, when to keep it. And I agree with what Brian said too. You don't want to spec, well, Wolverine someday is going to be on the silver screen and the X-Men, so I'm going to sit on all my Wolverine stuff. I mean,
but again, we're selling to readers. There's somebody who's going to need that 8 that they came and bought 1 through 7 from him, and now they need 8 when they come back. Oh, I sold them all last week on. You didn't come in fast enough. It's all gone online.
Here's another thing, Emmett. I guess I could challenge you on this. It's a problem. I agree with Emmett on too much stuff. Except for grading. Let's talk about grading. Let's go.
Grading.
Fight, right?
What's the point?
Yeah, I get along with everybody here too much.
Why do you send it away for 9 months? You could sell tomorrow ungraded.
9 months.
True. Or if you have 5, you can have half and half. 6.
Here's another thing. Copies. So the guy that's coming in that wants to complete his run of whatever the shit, and he needs number, who gives a crap, right? Do you think that guy's read all those books possibly, or does he just want to fill in that collection? I mean,
think he just wants to fill in the collection.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Emmett.
Could be both.
Yeah. So
pretty much the customer will tell you. The person will tell you. Yeah, I just
some guys, some people are just huge fans. Like, the guy that's a random fan, I just love Green Lantern. Yeah, that dude's reading the books because no one gives a shit about Green Lantern.
I have a guy that just is a completionist. I don't know if he reads anymore. I don't know when he stopped or if he's still he's still reading. But he comes in with a notebook.
Yeah.
This big. He opens it up.
Got a few of those.
50-cent bin. Goes to the look at each one.
Yeah. And another thing too, like the guy that buys all the books. How many of us have I used to have a giant stack of comics on the back of my freaking toilet, because that's where I read all my comics when I was taking a crap, right? And the pile just got bigger and bigger and bigger. At one point, the girl I'm with at the time would be like, can you move those books, please? Like, they're falling over. Like, I tried to wipe my ass the other day and there's comics falling in the toilet. I was like, what? Don't let my comics fall in the toilet. Can you move them? So I wanted to read them all. I just don't have time. So, you know, can't
Very
miss an
hard.
issue because I'm also a completionist.
Well, the other thing is a lot of like Eggplant Comics is it ain't a museum, sell. It isn't, but here's the thing is, you know, I recently got a Fantastic 412. It's about $1,000 book, right?
Oh man.
Ooh, brag about it. Oh, I got an
No,
FF12.
that's
Ooh.
nowadays that's a nothing book,
That's
right?
nothing for him.
You can get a Batman 19
I'm just messing with you.
variant and sell it for $1,000 now. So what, you know, what's the matter? You know,
Yeah.
but am I supposed to take 500 for that? Because that's what would move it, right? From walk-in traffic. About 50% off walk-in traffic would pay that.
But you're not in a position you don't have to sell it. So you're in a position where you can charge whatever you want.
Exactly. Well, that's my point is that
Yeah.
I've gotten to the position. I used to have to wholesale books. And somebody said that earlier. You should have an online guy you can wholesale off some of your books to when you get a big collection. You can wholesale them off and then you can move stuff. I'm in a position where I can just hoard them.
Yeah. Well, it's always you know, and there's different philosophies. I would take that book and get it pressed and graded and then send it off to Heritage. Don't got to worry about it. You know, you're going to get whatever the market wants to pay at that time for that book.
Yeah, but then off whatever the market's going to pay, but then the grading is going to be sliced off the top of that, right?
A little bit.
Heritage is not going to pay that. I'm going to pay that. The pressing and the cleaning and whatever they feel that book is worth, that they take another 4%. Then Heritage is going to take their piece. Well, maybe I'll probably get 5% because they want to have that book in the, you know, it's still all. If somebody comes in and offers me 800 in cash, that's a great sale.
Yeah, done.
Yeah,
done,
so that's
sure.
what I'm waiting on, and it happens. That wall's rotated up there. It may look the same a lot of times. But I've had a lot of people want my Evil Ernie, but I kind of have maybe a little bit too high price on it.
And you know, we all do the same thing, but there's drastically different ways of doing it, right? There's drastically different ways of doing it. If you don't need the money and you can sit on that book, go for it. Other people are like, I'm of the mindset of that book comes in, I want to move that thing right now. I'd rather have that money.
I just like to do a lot of new stuff, right? Like something new every day. Like if you follow my page, Instagram, Facebook, I post like 5-6 times a day of great books or new toys that just released, whatever it is. It's something different. Like the way I have it set up, I got a huge wall of, you know, pretty big books, glass cases full. And so when customers come in, I actually have 2 drawers that I picked up years ago, and it's full of the bigger books. It's about 5,000-6,000 you can look through of big books on the floor every day. And that's why I said that's number one, because I want the customers to see it. Like if you're gonna spend $100, look at it, take it out of the bag and board, open it, feel good about what you're gonna buy. If you like it, and usually it ends up being, you know what, I'll take this. Give me that book up there too. So.
That's a good question. Let's go over that real quick. Legion of Paper asked, how's the rise of credit card and payment apps impacted your bottom lines? I'll say this, and I want to hear what these guys got to say. I wouldn't say it's a rise because credit cards have always been there, and it's part of doing business. You know, I've known a couple stores. I could totally see Emmett having the kind of store that has a big sign in the back written on a piece of cardboard in black marker that says cash only.
Yeah, but it's not. In fact, I am so adamant against anybody charging their customers that percentage that now you can put it right into your computer and they're not even telling people. They just add that 3% onto each sale, and it's the credit card fee that's the cost of doing business. When credit cards came out in the 70s, when they started charging back then, it was probably 0.5% back then or even less. But, you know,
pretty much I always get emails and calls about new processing companies, and I don't even recognize the names.
Yeah.
It is daily. So I'm pretty sure y'all, Emmett, your neighborhood as well.
Yeah.
Same. They're relentless. They're salespeople trying to make their money. That's a huge business though, because then
Oh yeah,
that salesperson's getting a cut of every sale you make.
zero
sure.
fees, processing fees. I'm like, there's no way. I gotta make some kind of money.
Yeah. No, it's you know, find the best one that works for you and stick with it. You know, they'll nickel and dime you, and it's just part of doing business, man. Your Usama said it perfect. Not taking credit cards costs you a lot more than taking them. Agreed. You'll lose sales. Even if you have an ATM in your store and you say cash only, there's an ATM right there. That customer is probably going to be like, yeah,
It's
bro, I don't
$3
want
to take money out.
Yeah, I don't want to pay your $3.99 fee plus whatever my bank's going to charge me to take money out because it's going to benefit you. I can't just swipe my card. You want the convenience. You don't even got to swipe anymore. You just tap the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
Kids.
even heard of some retail, like restaurants, big restaurants, doing card only, no cash.
okay.
Weird.
The other thing is, a lot of people are paying now with PayPal and Zelle, Venmo, that type of stuff.
Tap.
Yeah. No, cash is always king. What I still do, I don't have a sign up. But if you pay cash, there's no tax. I just add it up.
Right. It's a
I'm not gonna-
discount. I give an 8% discount for cash.
There you go. Nice.
Tap.
Nice.
It's 8% sales tax.
Especially at cons, man. I love cash at cons. It's the best.
Yeah.
Best. Because if you're doing it the right way, you gotta charge your customers tax for the state you're at the con in. So I got to update that in my payment processor, my Square, and then you got to file for taxes in that state. I already have to file for sales tax in all 50 states because once you sell a certain amount in those states
Online.
on the website, you trigger
Yep.
their tax. So I have to pay my accountant to file for taxes in all freaking 50 states.
Oh, what a nightmare.
It's a mess. It's
Yeah,
totally a
it's a lot of work.
nightmare. It is. It's totally a nightmare. And you can see the line items on your Shopify receipts. When you print them out, it'll say state, federal tax, and it'll say state, county, city. Some of these guys are getting taxed 5-6 times.
Yeah, man.
It's
Insane.
nuts, especially California. It's crazy.
Well, yeah,
I
man.
will take Ethereum. I'll take any crypto you want to give me. I'll take it. 100%. You got to transfer me to a wallet in the store, but it's a bit of more work, but I'll take it.
Don't worry, they're going to figure out tapping it soon.
Yeah.
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 We're a ways off, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
There was another interesting thing that I found. Let me find this here. So this was something that I saw recently. And we've talked about this with back in the day with Dan Quintana and Heavy Mental. And we've talked about recently also where a lot of these online websites are messing up. A lot of these retailers are having problems because the websites are just too much traffic. And this was a post put out by the retailer that had the mess up with the Dan Quintana stuff, Heavy Mental. And it's called, have you guys ever heard of this? EQL. It says here, EQL helps brands create unforgettable launch experiences for their most in-demand products, giving fans easier access to the products that they're passionate about and a fairer shot at scoring them. Since EQL's first launch in 2021, we facilitated over 1 million first-time winners across 400,000 launches. We work with brands across a variety of industries, including sneakers, collectibles, wine, spirits, cars, art, and more. We're proud partners with the likes of Crocs, Undefeated, Sullivan's Cove, Extra Butter, Foot Locker, many more. EQL supports 14 markets in 9 languages. And basically, he says on here that it's a fair launch platform designed to give real collectors a better opportunity to purchase highly sought-after releases. Every entry goes through a verification process that helps prevent bots, duplicate entries, and bad actors from taking inventory away from genuine fans. So this is kind of interesting. And again, they say that they can do this, but when they get a huge group of people to there, is that the case? Have you guys heard about this at all?
No, so it looks like it's just an app through Shopify you can install. And it appears like they charge you a percentage of your sales that you make. So it sounds like a scam to me. Or scammy to me. Here's why. Shopify, almost every retailer I've talked to has never had a problem with bots. Especially not in now. Do bots exist? Yes. They're a lot more uncommon in the comic world than you would think. They're more common in
TCG.
sneakers, Pokemons, trading card type stuff. They're very not common in the comic world, really. So I don't know. It looks like it's EQO allows merchants to pass some of the fees on to customers through their run fair fee system. Fans who win a launch, well, okay, that's winning a launch. Sometimes you'll pay more for it. Launch revenue, if you make $10,000, they could charge you 1%. But they also could charge you up to 4% if you make 10K. I don't know. Plus, there's probably a monthly fee for it. It just seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
It seems unnecessary. If this guy would have launched his shit in the hold on, this is Heavy Mental. Yeah, I get it mixed up. Yeah, Heavy Mental is the one who did the whole botch launch in the first place.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have effed it up in the first place by being a greedy douchebag, he wouldn't have to do this kind of shit. Right? And even that announcement, we're launching 250 or whatever. What's the print run? Is it 1,000? If it's 1,000, why are you only launching 250?
Yeah.
Like, I have so many questions.
Well, he says
Swamp
that
Hat said
he says that there's 250 trade dress, 250 virgin, 250 trade dress foil, 50 virgin foil, and then there's 100 complete sets. So
he's only releasing 350 when the minimum is at least 1,000 of each of those. So unless you're destroying copies on purpose, my first question is, how are you selling the rest of these? So it doesn't say what the print run is. He just says, here's available quantities. So he's already being scammy again and misleading people by not giving all the information out to people. Yeah. God, I said fuck that guy in the beginning. I'm saying fuck him again. What a clown. Sorry.
Swamp Hat is saying that McFarlane's Toys uses EQL.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, but McFarlane's established, so it's a little different. Been around.
He's not a
pretty straightforward guy.
Yeah, he's not a dude whose Shopify store started 5 months ago when they just got the hottest artist on the planet by sheer luck.
Right. Do you have a toy distributor? Since now there's no comic distributor that distributes toys.
Oh, sorry, me, Emmett?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Universal. I jumped on Universal.
Oh, yeah, I'm with Universal too, but they don't have a lot of toys.
They don't. They just sell out. So you got to go to the pre-orders, what I was told. Be on early in the morning, and they do sell out pretty fast. Entertainment Earth I use every now and then. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, so I used to get all my toys from Diamond.
Yeah,
and it was, you could get decent toys and pay a kind of a premium wholesale price, but man, when they had sales,
they're the best. 50% off, some at 60% off. Wow,
yeah, I miss those
huge.
Days. I can't even really get good toys anymore, so NECA is all you can get from the old Diamond. So
okay, so the chat is squaring me away here. It looks like he did announce there were 3,000 trade, 2,000 virgin, 2,000 trade foil, 1,000 virgin foil. He sold the rest of all of those on Whatnot. Skeptical.
Yeah.
So he's dropping the rest, I guess, for people who couldn't get it on Whatnot. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. Honestly, I don't give a shit what that guy does. I'm too busy with my own shit to worry about what everybody else is doing. But just
ain't that the truth?
Did you play am I behind? I'm behind.
Yeah, it says that
There we
they
go.
sold half on Whatnot and half on the thing. So, but it sounds like he sold more than half on Whatnot, right? If there's
half.
if there's 1,000, where did that go?
If it's 3,000 trade dress, I don't care who you are not selling 2,750 copies.
Yeah, 3,000 trade dress
of anything,
and he's only selling 250 copies on his site. So, there's something off there, right?
unless he sold them all for $4 each. You're not going to sell
Yeah.
that many of an exclusive.
Yeah. Legion of Paper says bot campaigns are always present. It depends on the product and current market. The Quintana issue was all promoter driven.
What do you mean by promoter?
Yeah, what do you mean by promoter driven? I don't understand.
Define that word for me.
Yeah.
Here, let me ask ChatGTP. Let me ask AI about AI.
Yeah. Well, listen, this was interesting. I saw this 1 million copies sold of new Absolute Batman. The issue number 20 sold over 1 million copies, including all the retailer exclusives, which is crazy. That's nuts. So
that is that's 1990s numbers.
Yep.
Wasn't this the one too that a lot of shops reported they were damaged, so they had to send out? So are they counting the second prints?
They're probably counting the second prints.
Right?
It might be.
I didn't think of that. Sharp. That's sharp.
Yeah. What do they mean by sold? Sold or shipped? Again, nobody cares how many products make it into the hand of fans. They just care how many shops have. That's where the number count stops.
Yeah, pretty much our entire order was damaged, so we got a whole new order. I just gave them out free, but I think that's what they're counting. So
the damaged ones you just gave out free. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, they didn't charge us for them.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to do this. Everyone that's worried about bots, look up what it actually takes to get a bot to buy a comic for you. It's a lot of work. Like you got to have almost a server and a whole program set up. Like your average Joe isn't going to be like, oh, let me make a bot real quick to buy this comic for me. Anyway.
Yeah.
They do it on Magic because there's a lot of money to be made.
Oh yeah, anything where there's big
when they do a limited drop of they call them secret layers, and the right secret layer drops. If you had 40 of them, you might get $200 to $250 a piece for them. So 10 grand.
Actually, the way they did it, Cicada, was when I got my replacements for Absolute Batman 20. I don't think I ever got a credit. They literally just shipped them for free. There was no charge on the second shipment, so they didn't credit it and then charge me again.
Right.
They were free, so I gave them out free.
Me too.
Yeah. God, there's something else somebody said. Oh, so here's my theory on this whole Quintana craze, not to go down a rabbit hole, but he's starting to have covers in Lunar on regular weekly books.
Yes.
That's on that Batman Absolute number 22.
Yep.
Just had a huge ordering for that.
Yep. And here's what'll happen. I promise you this is going to happen. A retailer's going to get them in. They're going to go on Whatnot, and they're going to start selling them for like $1 each, and they're going to get bid up a crap ton of money because they're greedy, and they're not going to tell their customers, I ordered 100 of these. You don't have to pay more than cover price for them. They're going to charge more than cover price. They're going to rake their audience. Those people are going to get pissed at that seller because they were greedy, right? And it's going to happen all over the place.
Believe it or not, they get mad at comics. Comics in general, they just it's the fastest way to get somebody to stop collecting.
Yeah, and then they ruin it for that person's experience. So
I've seen shops put up the new books. I mean, I get mine from Lunar on Thursdays, which is insane. But I see them on Whatnot on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. People on there buying them. I don't understand. Like, why are you paying?
We used to do Friday, so we do claim shows. So we used to do it on Friday, but now we started doing them on Monday because we're guaranteed to have all of our shipments in on Monday. So the Monday before New Comic Day, Wednesday, we lay all the books out plus whatever back issues we have, and you can claim them. So we go live on Whatnot. And you can say, and we show the whole tables, we go step by step, and you can say, add that to my pile. And I have my team, they write a sticky. Let's say Emmett showed up in my show. We'd write Emmett on a sticky, and every time Emmett claims a book, it goes in a stack. And we say, when you're ready to check out, let us know. Emmett's like, I'm ready to go to bed, guys. We give him a total. Here's your total cover price. We put it in, we'll run it, we show him the whole thing. Here's your stack. Any questions? Nope. Then we run it for him. He pays cover price for all the books, period. You don't got to pay. You don't got to bid on it. We're not doing sudden death 3 seconds trying to get you to swipe and you miss it and all of a sudden it goes to $20. We're not doing any of that garbage. You can claim it right there on a new comic show on Wednesday. I talk about the books. Guys, this is a great book. I just read it. It's in my top 10 for the week. I highly advise you pick it up. If I don't read it, we have the back issues. Pick them up if you can. Anyway.
You provide a pull box, John?
We do on our website. If you go to our website, you can get a pull box. Yeah. Yep.
That is,
and it's honestly the best way to do it. But there's so many, I call them scammy people. They just do 3 second sudden death on all the new books. They don't even tell you. They just, it's a new book. You see, it's a foil Batman. And they don't say, guys, this book just came out at $7 cover price. They just put it up. Batman foil, $3 start, go. Swipe, because they're trying to scam people into getting the books. Oh, it drives me crazy. Anyway, sorry. Venting.
Yeah, if you go on Friday nights, you'll see. Like, I get my stuff from Penguin pretty much Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, I already got them in.
Yeah, my Penguin comes in early as shit lately.
So it's awesome.
Another bit interesting thing that we've talked about was this news that Skybound is now asking people to invest in the company, which is kind of interesting. They've been putting out
this is their second round though. They've done this one round before.
Yeah. But it's all over your social media things now.
They're buying some ads.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So they're selling common interests at $12.50 per unit with a minimum of $1,000 investment. And they say that if you buy until July 9th, you get a 10% bonus with anything that you spend in. And existing investors can potentially get 15% total bonus. So if you're one of those people that's already invested into the thing, which is very interesting. But to me, I think the most important thing about this is, again, this goes to show that the industry is changing. Comics are no longer just the product. It's the IP that's the product, right? Comics are the testing ground. And that's what Skybound has done, right? They've done it with Walking Dead. They did it with the Invincible. Now they're doing it with the Energon universe. So it's pretty hype.
I had the same question that Emma had earlier. What do I get for my $1,000?
Units.
But
and for every $12.50, you get a unit.
But what's a unit?
Exactly. Not a share. Doesn't say it pays dividends. Doesn't say that you can sell it on any kind of market.
They're not a publicly traded company yet, right?
Now, if a unit turns into a share that could then potentially be split down the line,
I don't think you can.
You'd be stupid to not buy as many as you can right now, because when the IPO comes, you're going to have already shares guaranteed in the bank. But
I don't think it does.
Nobody knows, and I don't know if they legally can say that. Like your unit will be a share. I don't know. I don't know shit about this.
Well, I don't think you could buy a single percentage point for $12.50. So a unit has to be some fraction of the value of the company.
So if the company is valued at $700 million and this investment thing raises $7 million, investors would collectively own 1% of the company.
But what if it's worth $750 million? What if they sell $780 million? So now you're getting less than 1% of.
You're already getting way less than 1%.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
if you divide $12.50 by $700 million, That's the percentage you're getting.
There you go. There you go. Good call.
So is this for shops or just anyone in general?
Anybody.
Anybody
Oh,
that
like
wants
Brian
to
said,
give them your money.
My feed is flooded. Instagram, TikTok. I got kicked off Facebook, so I can't see that anymore. But anywhere I go, YouTube, it's all over the place.
So you would have to buy, you would get 80 units. A minimum buy is 80 units, and you would get that extra bonus. So you would buy 80 units, and you'd get 8 units free.
If you go through this and actually go through all their stuff and click on the things, it's so convincing. By the time I scrolled halfway down, I was like, I want to give you all my money right now. Like,
no, I would love to invest, but the first thing with all my investments is, what is my exit strategy?
So are they doing this because they need the funds, or what is this like?
I don't. They don't
to do the things they're doing, and they don't want to do it with their money.
I guess that's a good point.
So building video games, making pilots of television shows or animations, all that stuff costs a ton of money, and they don't want to use their own.
I would say I think the last thing they need is money, but I guess you're right to keep growing.
Other people's money, man.
Other people's money is better to invest than your own money. You're correct. You're correct. But I mean, at this point, they don't need to bootstrap anything. They've already, that's been done.
They're killing with Invincible and all that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but he has Terminal coming out, but everything else is a license that he's moved into, right? So he's licensing all those.
Yeah, but they've announced that they're doing a movie and they're doing an animated series for Energon Universe. So
yeah,
that's crazy,
right? But
it doesn't
mean
and
that
it's
he
their
has
own,
the license
and
to
it's their own animation company that's going to be doing all the animation and stuff.
I saw they started a whole animation studio to make their Invincible stuff. That's crazy. And you're right, Emmett, they don't have the license, but they got to be making so much money off of this deal they got. Like, holy crap.
So typically your liquidity options are wait for an acquisition. So if a larger company buys Skybound, then the investors may receive cash or shares as part of the deal. Wait for an IPO if they become a publicly traded company, and then they'll have to come out and say something about what your investment could be transferred to that IPO. Private secondary sales. So if a private company's shares can be sold to another accredited investor or through a secondary marketplace, this usually requires company approval, and there may not be any buyers, and then obviously to hold it. So there is no exit strategy for this right now. You're just
you could probably have Kirkman himself on here, and he probably couldn't say what you get for. There's probably legal stuff where he couldn't say, this is what you're going to get. Like this is what.
We know investing is a risk, but part of the risk is, in a regular stock, that you can sell it. You can hold it. There is no, you can receive dividends on it. Some stocks pay dividends. There's no explanation of what the units give you other than negative money. The money you paid in, that's what it gives you. I mean, are we going to get a sketched thing for our units? I'll probably do it then.
I'll invest 1,000, make some free cigs out of it. Costs nothing to sign a book.
I mean, I think it's cool if you're a fan. And then you had an extra $1,000 kicking around. But to call it an investment.
Maybe, what if they worded it different? Would that change?
So
it's not the wording, it's just that they don't have any, it's a mystery of how you exit this investment.
Well, so I just ChatGPT'd it, and it says it looks like what they're doing is selling a common stock. I don't know what they're doing between a common stock and
they're ducking the SEC by not selling shares. They're asking people to invest in their company through units.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't say anything about a share. They don't use that word anywhere.
No.
Yeah,
So it says
no
here,
idea.
when will I get my investment back? The common stock of Skybound are not publicly traded. As a result, the shares cannot be easily traded or sold. As an investor in a private company, you typically look to receive a return on your investment under the following scenarios. The company gets acquired by another company. The company goes public, makes an initial public offering. In those instances, you receive your pro rata share of the distributions that occur. In the case of acquisition, or you can sell your shares on an exchange. These are both considered long-term exits, taking approximately 5 to 10 years and often longer to see the possibility for an exit. It can sometimes take years to build companies. Sometimes there will not be any return as a result of business failure. So there you go. And it says, how can I sell my shares? Shares sold via regulation crowdfunding offerings have a 1-year lockup period before those shares can be sold under certain conditions. In the event of, let's see here. What happens if the company is not sold? They kind of give the whole breakdown here at the bottom of the page under frequently asked questions. So there you go.
So
Yeah, Chad brought up a good.
they're telling you it on their frequently asked questions. They're saying it's a common stock.
Yes, right here. Let me get rid of this. Can I sell my shares? Where did that go? How can I
See, down here they're calling them shares, and nowhere in all their other stuff do they call them shares. They
right
call
here.
them units.
When will I get my investment back? The common stock of Skybound are not publicly traded, so they're calling it common stock.
Oh, so yeah, and it even says the share. So they're calling their comic stock a share.
Yeah.
Then why do they call them units everywhere else?
That is weird. It's a little misleading, really.
Well, Chad has a good question. What happened the first go around?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Well, they're still not publicly traded, so everybody still has their shares.
They probably offered a little more of the share or
They were
whatever
cheaper.
units. They were cheaper, yeah.
and you only had to put in $500. I think they were $10 each with a minimum of $500. And now they've gone up to $1,250 with a minimum of $1,000. So you have to invest more and you're paying more because the company has grown more. That all makes sense to me. Like all the chatter that they have throughout the whole thing makes perfect sense. Everything they say seems to be true, but then they call it units and they avoid the word shares anywhere else. And then down in their explanation, they're calling them common stock. So why didn't they just say you're going to get common stock?
Maybe that is the understanding in the normal world, and we just don't live in that world.
So at a $7 million valuation, a $1,000 investment, you would own 0.000143% of the company. Yeah, keep going. If it sells for $1.4 billion, you would get around $2,000 for your $1,000 investment.
Double up. That's not bad.
If it sells for $3.5 billion, but again, who knows, right?
Yeah. The value of IP is much higher than 1-for-1, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. It'd be a little clarification would be great. I mean, they're definitely selling you on how great their IPs are, which is cool.
They don't need our money. They're going to, if they haven't already made their number in a week or two, I'd be surprised.
Oh, look at that. Ryan is in the chat helping us out a little bit.
Yeah, shout out
to
Ryan.
He's a financial advisor who deals with this stuff all the time. The honest shares of stocks, but it's been made up. It's imaginary. It's just something they're creating their own market. Gotcha. Bottom line, give us the money so we don't have to use our own. Just like Brian said.
Yeah.
If you go public, or like Emmett said, and if you go public, you might get a minimum return. I don't know. I mean, 1,000 again. Don't invest in anything you're not afraid to lose, right?
Like a GoFundMe.
Yeah. As Lord Zero says, a unit when buying stocks typically refers to a single bundled financial package or your slice of ownership in an investment fund, depending on the type of investment you are making. So, yeah, I'll buy Skybound comics instead of Skybound units.
That's good. That's good. Same. I buy enough. I should get some free units at this point for all the comics I bought from them.
Yeah.
As a retailer and a fan.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
I still may invest now that I've gotten some clarification from people that know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe Clutch may know something about it. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like they say, don't invest in something that you can't lose. Just like stock market, anything. You know, of course, you're safer buying Tesla stock at this point than, you know, this, but $1,000.
Dude, just if you're young, just buy stocks that have been paying dividends for the last 70 years, even through bad times, like GE. You just get a thing that pays dividends and have the dividends buy stock. It just rolls over. You know, some years it'll be 5%, and some years it'll be 9%, and you never sell the shit. You just let it ride until you're. You know,
they always say,
old.
imagine if you could start over at 25 years old with the knowledge you have now.
Yeah. It's like doubling that. Like if you doubled the money you put in, like a penny, 2 pennies, 4 pennies. That's what dividends do, man.
My managers are like average around 30 years old right now. And I'm like, God, if I started when I was your guys' age, oh my God, the advantages I would have.
Yeah, but again, it's about margins and when you want to exit, right? Land, fucking real estate's way better than the stock market.
True. Even with higher interest rates, you're safer buying real estate. I think you're always safer buying real estate,
especially if you can buy it with cash.
It's just buying, getting qualified for a loan. If it's not your house, you're buying a second house, and then that's 20% down. It's just not everyone.
Man, cash is king. You got to come and see come to New York and see the Hasidim and how they roll. Fucking guys show up your house with a briefcase and just start taking stacks out.
I mean, that'd be the dream, but man, who's got 400, 500, 600K for a house can cash?
Yeah.
Most people never see that kind of money at one time. I've never seen that kind of money at one time in an account, you know?
Not an account. Not yet. We're working on it.
I see it in my tax filings at the end of the year. My account tells me how much I made, and I'm like, bullshit. I didn't make that much money. Like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Yeah. All right. You guys got anything coming up for the shops this week? Sean, you got anything going on this upcoming week?
Yeah, I failed to send it to you, but we have an Absolute Batman launching this week. It's ours, our exclusive. I'll see if I can. Give me a few minutes. I'll see if I can send it to you. But it's Ivan Tao, Absolute Batman. Speaking of variants, we got that coming up this Friday. He's pretty excited about it.
Now, is it for this Wednesday's release and it's dropping on Friday, or is it next week's?
No. It's 22. Ask me hard questions. Like, what issues are exclusive? Don't ask me these complex questions. Oh man, I'll find it, send it to you. But that's really, I mean, oh, we are doing this tomorrow.
Oh, Nephi Wars. Yeah, shout out to those guys. Look at that. You got some blind bags.
I do. So I'm gonna open this one right here.
Here you go.
My whole staff did the thing today where they tapped the chip.
Uh-huh.
And
I love how easy it is to tear.
Oh, so easy. Oh, this is a limited to 600, I think. Let me see. Nope, 1200. Most common one. That's okay. I don't have this one yet. But we all did the thing today where we tap the little chip on the back.
Yeah.
And then it comes right up. It tells you, it's a bit of there's a few steps, because you first pull it up, you got to put your email address in, then you go to your email, then you enter in your information, then you got to go back to the app, enter your information again to make your account with your username, but then it's in there. So once you get it set up, though, it's awesome. It's very smooth. So I have my whole staff. We did this same book. I transferred it to one person. They transferred it to the next person. So that one issue shows me as the initial owner, like first owned by, and then it goes to the other people. And it worked seamlessly. It worked perfectly. So we're dropping it tomorrow. Tomorrow's their big release date for this. So there'll be some people on Whatnot selling these bags tomorrow, but we'll be selling them on eBay, on Sean's Comics, Comics Elite Live. We'll be doing shows all throughout the day. We have 100 bags we're going to be selling, and you got the choice. You can rip it. We'll show you right there on the spot. We'll ship it to you unopened. We can tap it if you want to have, Goob can be the first owner of your book if you want to, and then she'll send it to you. But the way it works too is we send it to you, then you tap the thing, and then you request it be transferred. You have to request ownership. Then I get a notification in my app that says, I click on it, says this person requested to own your book. So what we learned is, before you request transfer of the book, make an account name, because it'll just say collector request to get your book. I don't know who the hell collector is. So you would have to put your username, McClay, or whatever you're going to put in there. Then you get the book. But it's a really cool, seeing it work. It's a really cool system. I'm pretty pumped about it. I had a nice talk with the guys the other day. We did a little conference call, talked about doing some exclusives with them. I got to get a couple artists cranking on these exclusives, but I'm all in on this stuff. I think it's really cool. It's fun. It was so fun to do it. The whole staff had a great time doing it. We were playing with it today. It's a really cool element. Anyway.
Real quick question. Raider Nation says, so when you choose to do a variant cover for a book that's getting ready to come out, do you get an advanced copy to read it, guess, and take a chance? And is there times where you don't get to read it?
The answer is yes. All the above. Image honestly is the worst. Image will just say, I want to do an exclusive, and they're like, okay, go ahead. Can I get some character references? And they're like, here's all the covers that are in Lunar, just use those. And it's like, I don't know what I don't know who's in it. Can I read the book? Some publishers are fantastic, and they're like, here's a whole PDF of the first 3 issues if you want to read them. Like, hell yeah, thank you. Other publishers will send you a whole workup, front, back, side. IDW will send you an entire 4-page, feels like a study guide of how to draw the turtles very specifically. Mm-hmm. They have to look like this. You can't do this. You can't do that. They don't have this. They have to put them like this. That's why all turtle covers, that's why they all look the same, and they're kind of boring because they're so strict with it. Anyway, yeah, so the answer is yes and no, Raider Nation. Sometimes it's just total hit or miss. The big 2, you request an artist, you give them a concept, and you hold your breath. And you're like, oh, man, I hope this comes out good. And sometimes you never know what you're going to get. Never know until it's done.
At times, Sean, can you pick your artist, right?
Oh, you can always pick your artist. You can put in a request. And then they'll tell you, out of the 6 artists you request, none are available. Or you get your bottom pick sometimes. Every once in a while, you get your top pick. Then you get all excited. Oh my God, I got Carla Cohen. Or some shit like that. But then you're still rolling the dice. Man, I hope she best out a banger cover, man, because not every artist does a banger all the time, right?
Yep.
About to cons, and some of the artists want to link up, and they're like, "Hey, let's do a cover." And then I reach out to them. It's like, "Hey, I got an artist already, ready to go." Send in the concept, and a quick sketch of it, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the smaller publishers are way easier to work with.
Oh yes.
Way easier with. Some of them are just like, go ahead, and you just send them the concept. They're like, we don't need a concept. Just send us to us your art when it's done. Like, really? Like, yeah, just don't do anything crazy. okay.
Yeah, and you always get it approved and all that first, and they approve it and send in the rest color and a full done copy.
Yeah. I always send in work in progress. I've been burned in the past. Work in progress, is this approved? Here's the colors, is it approved? Here's a sketch, is it approved? And really, that's when I do exclusives with artists, I always ask them, hey, can you give me 3 SketchUps? Just so I can verify.
Okay, so you got that coming out. You got the blind bags coming out tomorrow, or they're gonna start dropping tomorrow. You got the Ivan Tao 22 coming out. Anything else?
I feel like that's good for now.
Nice. You guys remember you can use the promo code Beyond10 to get 10% off over at comicselite.com. So make sure you guys utilize that when you can. Emmett, what do you got coming up this next week?
Probably at least one or not, if not 2 eBay lives. I haven't set the dates yet. Everybody was like, hey, you didn't even let us know. I think my notice was like 5 minutes beforehand on Instagram. I really wanted to get my feet wet I didn't really want to be that busy. I didn't want to sell 100 books. Yes, I did, but also no, I didn't. Sometimes success is failure in another way, where I could have really done well and then failed in the shipping or messed up the lots. There's so many things involved. So I just wanted to get my feet wet with kind of just like a little, so I didn't really advertise it. And so this time I'm probably you'll see it on the Instagram and stuff. I haven't figured out the date yet, but there's a lot of stuff going on, man. I got to go get a shot in my eye tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah, when you start bleeding in the back of your eye.
Yeah.
When you start bleeding in the back of your eye, they put shots in it. They give you a needle right in your eye.
Yeah, but you don't have nerves in your eye, right? So it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt. It just freaks you out.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Think really hard.
Movie.
It's the beginning of a horror title. I see those Batman's Brian in Instagram chat if you want to see.
That does
So
sound
that's about it. I think you might have saw on my Instagram, I got that Greg Hildebrandt poster signed to 5,000. That was on my Instagram as a get. And then I have these. Oh, almost hit myself in the head. I've got about 25 new old stock hubcap sets from the 60s.
For a Cadillac?
This is for a Chevy. It does look like Cadillac, but if we get
you literally will you literally will buy anything that comes into your store.
Yes, sir. That's why I brought it out, because we were talking about it earlier.
That's awesome and terrifying at the same time.
I know. They'll probably be here when I'm dragged out on a stretcher.
What about
we
you?
did sell a set on eBay though for $200. I paid $75 for all the sets. They're all vintage. They're all new old stock. Never been on a car. They go for a bunch of money, but you got to put them up and let them sit, and shipping them sucks. And but the profit margin is fucking ridiculous.
Roll them out there to one of those vintage car shows where all those guys bring the old cars and shit, man.
We have a car show right in front of the shop. They don't buy, man.
Oh,
they don't buy. It's some guy that needs them for their car. These guys aren't buying randos. They need what they need for their car. So that's why you got that big net on the internet. That's what the internet's good for, getting all those people who don't know they fucking want it or need it.
Stuff like that is good.
Yeah.
You didn't know you're going to add a hubcap section to your Shopify store, did you?
Yeah.
Comics and hubcaps.
That's awesome.
Pipes are the big. I'm going to buy every single vintage pipe that comes through my store from now on. I have crushed it. I paid $80 for like 35 pipes, and the first 3 sold 200, 120, and 175 for 3 of, and they're all the same maker, different years, different models. So, and that was just taking a flyer. I had no idea what they were worth.
Wow. What about you,
Jeez.
Steven?
Wow.
You got anything coming up this next week?
Yeah, it's a pretty good week for new releases. Shout out, I don't know if y'all saw, but Mark Spears, our good friend Mark Spears, did his first Marvel cover. Did y'all see it?
Yep.
No, I did not see
Uh,
that.
I've already got, I think,
Oh, the Captain America.
Yeah, the Captain
yeah,
America.
the cap. We got that going on. It's been crazy busy with the new releases every week. So tomorrow we'll have a line of cars waiting outside ready to get in at 10. It basically rushes all the way to about 1, and then we get a little break, we eat something real quick, and all the way till 6 is nonstop.
That's awesome.
But one thing that it is a fan favorite that we do is, I think I mentioned last time, Brian, is I do a bag and board party. Like I said, I got storages full of comics. Like, I'm probably at about 6-7 storages full.
Wow.
From the front, from the door to the back. Like I said, I went overboard in buying years ago, and that's where I am now. So I bought this collection, about 50,000 comics, and I never got to go through it. So I still don't get a chance to go through it. I get all the supplies in, all this extra stuff, bagging boards, and I got the regulars and new people come in, sit them down over there. I bring all the books, and they go through them. They find all kinds of great stuff. And I trust them with the book, so it creates that stigmatism, the customer trust, where I could trust you. If there's a Hulk 181 in there, y'all bring it to me. One of y'all wants to buy, I give you a great deal. It ends up being like that, and if you ever came to our shop, you'd be like, man, what the hell? Like, I let our customers have free reign. Like, they can go through a box. I just tell them, hey, I haven't priced it yet. You want to come in, look, you want to interested in buying it, I give you a great deal on it.
Yeah, I say the same. That's the same spiel I give them. I'm like, you want to go through the stuff in the basement where I'm at here? I'm like, that's cool, but I haven't priced it, so don't expect to get it for $1.
Yeah, most will tell you, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, give them a good price, look it up together. So that'll be on Saturday. Saturday's gonna be a little crazy here in the morning. So who knows what they find, man? Just the excitement, like, oh, look what I found. It's like, yeah, cool. I want to buy it. Yeah. I started doing that about a few years ago, 2-3 years ago. It brings everybody in. It's so cool. And even new people are like, what the hell's going on here? Y'all have an event? Like, no, just doing a bag and board party.
So if any of you guys are close to
great idea.
Corpus Christi, Texas, make sure you guys go check out Most Wanted Comics ASAP and be a regular there on Saturdays, right?
Yes, and I just picked up another collection, so I'll be dumping that on everybody on Saturday. Like 30 or 40 short boxes full of Silver Age, pretty much. So
damn,
not bad.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got just one whole 10 by 20. It's just all Silver Age.
Wow,
full. From the door all the way to the back. It's just one little path. You have to walk sideways. So it's like,
I love it, dude.
Like 400 long boxes in there. It's insane.
You need to videotape those events, dude. And
Hood wants me to take him over there, man. Hood would never leave. He'll tell you. He'll be there all day.
That's content for sure.
Yeah. Big shout out to Official Music Pub, aka Amazing Comics. I believe that's the name on Whatnot. He just gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys go check out him on Whatnot. Pub, drop your Whatnot link in the chat too, so everybody can notice. Shout out to our boy Mike, aka Snick.com. Make sure you guys go check out Snick.com if you guys are original art fans. They've been doing some great jobs putting up a full OA from issues. They just put up the full OA from Brett Bean for Dork #1, which is absolutely gorgeous.
What?
Yeah. So this is the Ivan Tao Absolute Batman 22 variant that's going to be available over at Comics Elite this weekend. And absolutely gorgeous. Here's the trade dress. And you guys can pick that up over there and get 10% off. Use promo code Beyond10.
It's pretty cool. I think Ivan nailed the cover. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's her
Harley.
origin too. So
Yeah. Origin of her, yeah.
We got
So
huge
far-
orders for this.
So far, what they've teased of her, like you only get really small pieces of her. I really enjoy how they're writing her. Again, there's only been like 4 panels, maybe 5 of her.
yeah, she's
But,
way younger than the regular Harley.
Way younger.
Yeah.
Way younger.
And I didn't like her at first, but now I do. I didn't like her design at first, but
Yeah.
now I do. So
I think they tweaked it a little bit, changed her appearance a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the
I
way,
think
I did pick up Nick Dragota's for what I know is his currently one of these days when I see him in person or we get him on the show, we'll ask him. But I believe it's Nick Dragota's first published work. It's a Caliber press book from 1998 called Knights of the Round Table, and it's all the Knights of the Round Table and their backstory, and then they had artists do images of them, and he was one of the guys to do the image. Tough book to find in decent condition, but yeah, for all you Creator First fans, you guys can find the link to the Beyond Wednesdays Creators First list below. I'm heading to Las Vegas Thursday morning for Leg's wedding, so I don't think there will be a House of Stein Hot 10, and I don't think there will be a Saturday night show. That being said, I'm going to try my best to be back Saturday or Sunday so I can I have an eBay live sale that I'm going to be doing on Sunday night, hopefully, for comics. I was unable to do my sales this week. My uncle passed away, it sucks getting old, you guys. It really sucks getting old. And yeah, man.
You're telling me.
Yeah, dude. So I spent some extra time with the pops on Father's Day, and it is what it is. But I also have a huge card sale coming up. Tons of I'll have, for all you Knicks and Spurs fans, I'll have a ton of cards from those players in that run. I'll have a ton of Hall of Famers, baseball, football, basketball, Reggie Miller rookies, Dennis Rodman rookies, John Stockton rookies, Scottie Pippen rookies, Barry Bonds rookies, McGuire rookies, Nolan Ryan, you name it, I'll have it available. We're gonna have a huge card sale. Shohei Ohtani rookies. So that will be happening on Monday night, and I got to get ready for San Diego, which is a month away, and I have a $4,000 Airbnb I got to pay for. So we're selling a lot of stuff. So if you guys, not only that, I also have. Let me see if I can find this.
Blood plasma.
No.
Hey, music. If you get a chance, bro, I didn't see it. Put your whatnot in the chat. I want to follow you.
Yeah, Music Pub. Definitely put your whatnot in the chat. I'll have I'll have a bunch of really cool books available for sale. I'll have signed John Tyler Christopher, signed Mark Brooks, signed Art Adams. I'll have Absolute Batman, some rare Absolute Batman variants, all kinds of stuff. So also, if you guys are interested in things like this, I just put this up on my eBay.
Damn.
Yeah,
this
is the sketch cover signature series signed by McFarlane. It came back in 8.0, but I can't tell why. It's never been pressed, and I cannot find a reason why this came back in 8.0. But 9/8s are selling for like almost $3,000. So
somebody drew on the cover. Somebody wrote their name on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book's ruined.
Yeah. So that's up on my eBay. And then
did it have the notes, Brian?
No notes on the
notice
back.
Lately, she just hasn't been putting no notes on it.
Nope.
I sold one of these for I broke a record. I sold a 9/6 of this for $1,400. And I didn't realize it, but I have 2 more. So I put this one up. If you guys are interested in Coheed and Cambria, this is a rare concert promo that they did. This is not the Evil Inc. version. This is the concert promo The Evil Ink version has Evil Ink right where my finger is. This is the one that says Coheed and Cambria. So these were given away at their concerts. And not only do I have that one that I put up, I also have a signed one, signed by the lead singer and writer, Claudio Sanchez, right there, that I put up as well. So if you're Coheed and Cambria fans, these are super rare books to find in this grade because, like I said, they were concert promos and just handed out. So all kinds of stuff. And then even crazier, I have a ton of Mark Spears stuff that I put up, signed boxes. This is his 2022 Halloween Monsters box, which is super rare. All the boxes limited to like 50. This was limited to 700. This box unopened was limited to only 50. They only created 50 of these. And then I think they only created 200 of these, maybe less. So I have all those up and available for sale, as well as some one-on-ones. But this is something really crazy right here. And I've talked about this before, but if you're a fan of Linkin Park, this is one of the rarest Linkin Park items you'll ever find. So before they were called Linkin Park, before Chester had become a member of the band, they were called Hybrid Theory out of San Diego. And Chester was in a band here locally called Gray Days. I went to a school called Deer Valley High School, and there was a high school that was about 4 miles away called Greenway High School. Chester went to Greenway. I went to Deer Valley. I knew of Chester because all my friends were in bands in high school, and I knew Chester because he was in Gray Days. And when I found out Chester had left Gray Days and joined this band Hybrid Theory, I reached out to Hybrid Theory and I became a street team member. If you guys don't know what a street team member is, back in the day, you would sign up with the band and they would send you free stuff just to hand out to all your buddies at shows and stuff. And so they sent me a huge box. It had a bunch of t-shirts in it that said Hybrid Theory on it with this logo. They sent me a bunch of stickers, and then they sent me a bunch of tapes. And as you can see here, Hybrid Theory, it has 2 songs on it, Points of Authority and With You. And this is before they were called Linkin Park. They had to change their name because there was another band called Hybrid Theory. And it even says hybridtheory.com on it. And these have never been taken out of the cases. And I just put one up on eBay I think I have it up for $3,000. They're probably the rarest. Geez. Yeah, they're probably the rarest Linkin Park memorabilia you'll find. So if you guys are into that type of stuff, go to check out the eBay store. I think the link is below, and hit me up. I also have this I just put up. This is a Aaron Judge Topps Chrome Refractor rookie. It's the purple refractor. It's limited to $299. It's a Gem Mint 10, and I put this up for $3,000 too. So if anybody's interested in rare Aaron Judge rookies, that's available too. And these are all going to pay for what? San Diego Comic-Con 2026. So if you guys want to help me get to San Diego and get some cool stuff, hit me up. We'll see you guys on Sunday night, hopefully for eBay Live, definitely Monday night. And Steven, thanks for joining us. You guys are going to be seeing Steven more often on here. Yeah. And
got another cover.
What is this? Oh, yeah, that beautiful, Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
So this is probably, in my opinion, this is the best of these Marvel covers they did for the Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, the whole
just the way the border, he's a red green character, the way the border matches the art, it's absolutely perfect.
Yep.
It's perfect. Now I'm not supposed to be showing this. I'm breaking a rule because this was the secret art thing, right? But hey, it comes out tomorrow in store. So guys, get this one. It's so good. Just a couple other things real quick. This Dimensions, one of the best Dimensions has been out so far.
Oh yeah, all those Alex Ross Dimensions are
Alex
great.
Ross, so good. Another recommended pickup. Try to get the Ito Capes.
Yep.
Yeah, Capes.
Cover. Great story too, by the way. If you're missing out on capes, you're missing out on capes. And then there's a third print of Absolute 15. This is foil, third print. And then last thing here, I'm a super nerd of House of the Dragon plus all the stuff. I got this through Lunar, I think. It's like a mystery pin set.
Oh wow.
Like an advent calendar type thing, like a pin set.
Yeah.
I want to open them so bad, but I also don't want to open them. So like, I'm between to open my toy and play with it, or do I not? You know. So
that's awesome.
By the way, if you're missing House of the Dragon, fucking catch up on House of the Dragon and watch it. It's so good.
Has the new season come out?
Yes, the premiere was yesterday.
Okay, I'll watch it tonight.
It is stupid good, dude. It's ridiculous. I was by the end, you're just like,
yeah. I love
what
House of
happened?
the Dragon
Yeah.
so far. I just hope they don't ruin it like they did the original.
Yeah. So far, so
that
good.
being said, you guys, tomorrow, I think we're going to start an hour early on the show tomorrow because we have some great guests. As of right now, it looks like Vince Locke, the great Vince Locke, amazing artist. Of course, Swamp Thing, a lot of the old school horror comics from the early 90s, late 80s. One of the best comic book artists in the game is going to join us. And also, Sora Sung is going to join us, as well as Chris Rupp is going to join us because we are going to be premiering one of the best Supergirl covers I've ever seen. If you're a fan of Supergirl, make sure you guys come hang out with us tomorrow night. Shout out to Chad Cave for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says, brushing my dreams.
Chad's good dude.
He is. He's one of the best. That being said, you guys, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, man.
Love you.
Thank you, Brian.
Adios.
Thank you for having me on, Brian.
Stick around for a sec here, Steven.